I want the world to know that I am yours forever. Write your name across my heart. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. My kids soon start cuss me out for food. Alright, I am back. Alright, so I'm going to talk about hi, can you hear me now? Can you see me? Yay! Period. So I was thinking to just talk about things that was brought up during the competition while I was in Miss Manchester Culture Festival Queen, matters that impacts us in today's society. Um the theme for this year was the Jamaican woman proud and bold. And I remember during prejudging, they asked me what it meant to be a Jamaican woman, right? And whenever we're asked that question, it's like we're stuck because it's like, there's kind of a disconnect with our country. Um, because of all the bad that's happening, we kind of just disassociate from our culture, our country, who we are as Jamaicans. And the funny thing is, people abroad always look at us and see the diversity, see the beauty, but we are unable to see that for ourselves. And I think that speaks volume about us as Jamaicans. So, what does it mean to be a Jamaican woman for you? Let me know what you think. Or if anything comes to mind, like be honest. If anything comes to mind, if nothing comes to mind, just say, like, let's be for real here. Let's not hide anything. Nothing comes to mind. And that actually makes me think of something that many of us growing up, we were never introduced to our culture, to our traditions, to our belief systems. It's like people kind of neglect them, our history, our culture. I remember growing up as a child, I always ask my parents like, why don't we do traditions? Why don't we cook traditional food? Why don't we do traditional stuff like John Kunu? I've never seen John Kunu in my entire life. I only saw it must see once on TV. Um we were never brought up with our history, right? So a lot of children growing up, it creates a disconnect our with our ancestors, with our history, who we are as Jamaicans, and then we kind of absorb what we see outside of our country because if we don't know who we are, then we will try and find something to attach our personality or traits to, you know? But you're saying, yeah, to be a Jamaican woman, I think it means being connected to ancestry and magic, our own magic. I totally agree. I believe Jamaican woman have a lot of power. We have a lot of spirit within us, and it's for us to tap into that, like genuinely tap into it and own our shit, own ourselves. Um, the theme was the Jamaican woman, proud and bold. Being able to connect with our ancestors, being able to connect with our traditions and own that. Be bold, be proud of who we are. Your connection is unstable. Hold on. Ups and downs. Are you hearing me? I hope you're hearing me. Let me ask in the chat. But yes, I believe oh, you paused the video. I believe we are definitely indoctrinated. Um and we're heavily You thought I was frozen. Well, at one point, my laptop was saying my connection is unstable. So I was like, oh no, not again. But, anyways, we're heavily foreign influenced. I feel like we don't know who we are. So we have a foreign identity. And I feel like it also ties to wounds that we have with our own political system. It's like the things we are experiencing in our country is just disappointing, so we kind of idolize other countries even though they themselves have other issues. They have their own issues. I remember our parents would always paint America as the holy grail, the place to be, to live, to work, to travel to grow up in. And now look at America. A lot of Americans are dying to leave their own country. So it's like, I believe it's kind of recentering us to come back to who we are as Jamaicans, to actually appreciate our culture, to actually appreciate our traditions, the country we grew up in, stuff like that. And as you said before, a lot of Jamaican women, um, I feel like we kind of, our spirit is not loud, our spirit is not bold, right? I feel like we're kind of washed down right now. And I believe we need to stand up and speak, be unapologetically ourselves, and see the truth and the magic within our own culture. And again, many of us don't know our culture. Many of us weren't grown up with traditions, keeping that Jamaican spirit alive, you know, having that community effect. Now everybody lock up in them house, now talk to them neighbor. Um, it's like oh, the neighbor just want to fasten on my business, or the neighbor this, or the neighbor that. I believe we need to come back together. How were we able to gain independence? We never gain independence individually. We gain independence collectively. We came together as a nation and realized that the injustice was too strong, so we had to fight for our freedom. And from then on, we were able to create villages, communities, bond. The village is what grew our children. What happened now? What happened now? And then when you look at Jamaican women now, a lot of them are in domestic violent relationships where they're being abused. because they don't know themselves. They don't know their power. They don't know the power they hold. They constantly seek validation from men, constantly seek validation from people outside of them, you know? So it makes them susceptible to people who want to determine who you should be and um what you should think like and stuff like that. I see where I am freezing on my end. Give me a break. All right, seems like I'm back. My laptop is struggling to do this live. But yeah. Um as I was saying, there's a lot to talk about in regards to the Jamaican woman and too Siren said and too much patriarchal beliefs as women, yes. And I realize a lot of Jamaican women have to embody this masculine energy because a lot of men neglect the home. So women are now expected to take on the father and mother role of the family, right? So it's like they have to take on a patriarchal stance, which kind of neglect themselves, right? It neglects their femininity, their softness. That is something I personally grew up with. My mother had to take on both roles, and it took a toll on her and it took a toll on our family. I grew up with a dominant mother figure. A lot of objectification in songs. I believe so as well. I feel like it's many times we say, oh, it's dance hall because that's what old people are saying. No, dance hall this, dance hall that. But when we listen to their music, their reggae music, it was very, it was very lewd. You know, it's as bad as it is now. It's really as bad as it is now. But I feel like back then it was more of a poetry type of vibe where the songs they sing it's like their 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 dialect and their structure to music was more poetic even though they were talking about sex and doing certain sexual positions and activities. But in today's society, artists are more upfront with what they're saying. They don't really have hidden meanings behind their words. So I feel like that's what's jarring for a lot of people. And with the older generation as well, it's like, whoa, you're so rude, you're so nasty, you're so this, you're so that. But it's literally the same thing their artists used to sing, but it was behind hidden words, right? So yeah. For me, dance hall. I feel like dance hall has its pros and cons. I embrace dance hall because it's a part of our culture. I love listening to dance hall, not repeatedly. Like I have to be in a vibe to listen to dance hall because it uplifts me, which is weird because for many people they don't feel that way, but it gives me energy. It makes me feel like, yeah, I'm sexy, I'm that woman, I'm this, I'm that. You know? I guess it depends on the type of music you listen to. But I prefer to listen to popcorn. Popcorn, yeah, yeah, his songs are still sexualizing, but it's not in a demeaning way. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, my body good, my body set good, blah blah blah. So yeah, I go listen to them song, yeah. Right? But I see the cons as well where they talk about like killing someone and how you can't touch them because them not afraid to kill you and stuff like that. That's where I don't really agree with that dancehall vibe. But in regards to why does it look like my laptop is freezing again? All right, let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, it's not freezing? Oh, you can see Blanco. Okay. Yes, chunky Blanco. Okay, my fat cats. Chunky? See, he's looking. All right. So, yeah, I feel like it all depends. But I see where dancehall can help the artist channel their rage, their anger, their emotions. Cause again, I listen to Popcorn and the things he sing about. It's a lot of things that a lot of ghetto youths experience. So it's like I hold that space for him. But I have to be in a certain vibe to listen to certain music and certain artists. But I'm not going to shame them and be like, oh, you're terrible, you're this, you're that. I believe dancehall is a part of our culture and it uplifts a lot of women in Jamaica. You know, you feel on top of the world. You're like, yeah, my body set good, me look good, me have the good things. It's like I feel like it all depends on the person and how you want to accept and interpret the song. Because the song can be uplifting for others, but other people will feel uncomfortable because it's, oh, that's too sexualizing. It all depends on the person. But yeah, it all depends. A song that I have on repeat, I would play it and let you guys listen to it, but I feel like my laptop can't manage that right now. But it's by Tyler Skillibeng and one ex artist, and it's called Jump. And when Skillibeng say, "Original girl, you want a replica?" Like, yeah, me the original. And he said, smooth. Wait a minute, let me look for the lyrics. Me no want chop the lyrics. Me no want chop the lyrics. Hold on. Jump lyrics. Tyler. It's a good song to me. Yeah, original girl, you are no replica. Smooth Dean, no regular. Pretty for real. I'm pretty pan me cellular. Me know say you're hot. Like, yeah. Yeah, like I'm that girl. Duh. No regular, like you are not a regular girl. You're pretty on my phone. Like, yes. Yeah. Me love look on your picture them like you just pretty on my phone. Me just love open my phone and see a picture of you. Like, tell me that. No, I will not be quiet. Every time I hear that lyric, I'm like, hey, hey, smooth D, no regular. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So I love that part. And that's Skillibeng, a dancehall artist that's causing a lot of controversy among our youths and the older generation and stuff like that. So it just depends on the song and how you want to interpret the song as well. So that's how I feel about dancehall music. But back to what I was talking about. on women having to take on patriarchal roles within our society, within Jamaica. Um, it brings me to our declining birth rate, right? The Ministry of Health has been imploring a lot of young women to have children, and they're concerned for our nation and our population is decreasing, and Jamaica will be no more, etc., etc. But that ties in with how women have to be owning patriarchal roles within the family, because a lot of men are neglecting their family due to infidelity, right? They're not settled within the home. They have to find another woman. And I realized I posted this video. Jamaica has a cheating culture that is praised, and it needs to end. When men go around and cheat and their friends hype them up, it plays a huge role with a lot of women not wanting to have children with them because they're not respected. The men only see the woman as something to breed, an animal. They're acting like animals, actually. So we're not going to have children with men who can't respect us, who can't stay at home and take care of their wife, their partner, and their children, you know? And then when they have a lot of children, they are not able to financially provide for all these kids. That's the other thing. They're not able to financially provide even for one. So a lot of women have to be taking on masculine roles and patriarchal roles in order to take care of the family. The woman who should be the nurturing energy now has to be the provider for the family, and that neglects that nurturing energy that the child needs. That softness, that gentleness, that tender love is hardly present. So a lot of women are like, yeah, we're not going to have kids if this is how our men are acting. We're not going to have kids with Jamaican men. And that also contributes to the decline in birth rate. Duh. Like, what to expect? And then they're going to complain. So I feel like there's also there's a negligence on emotional intelligence as well. Emotional intelligence for men in today's society. A lot of men are ignorant. A lot of men are right. A lot of men are ignorant. Um a lot of men are ignorant. Like they just expect things to happen the way they want it to happen. They don't think on an emotional perspective. They kind of just expect things to happen the way they want it to. They're kind of egocentric. They don't look at things on a softer side. Um, for example, having children, right? A lot of men think, oh, it's just easy to have kids. Well, it's easy on their part because all they're doing is, you know, one nut and go. But it's like for them it's yeah, it's just easy. But what about the woman? What about the woman who has to go through 9 months of pregnancy and then childbirth? What about the struggles she would have to go through? And it takes an emotional toll to carry another human being in your body for 9 months and then give birth. Labor is such a intensive experience that really takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally, physically. And as Siren said, it has a lot to do with our social construct. A lot of women are expected to bounce back after giving birth, you know? Women are expected to bounce back after giving birth. Women are expected to, I'm sorry, I'm just sharing the link so other people can join. So yeah, women are expected to just bounce back and go back into that patriarchal role, that masculine energy, because the father is no longer there. And nobody actually thinks about that. I remember having a friend and she was saying, um, the Minister of Health is encouraging a lot of women to have children because of the decline in birth rate. But she said, what about the men? Why not create a change with our men so women can feel safe and comfortable to have children with them? You know, we really need to pay attention to our men as well, not spoon feed them, but to educate them. Sorry. We need to educate them. They need to be educated. They need to gain that emotional intelligence as well. And I believe our society trains our men, our society train our men to be emotionally detached, right? I'm getting hot. With all this spicy talk, I'm getting hot here. But society trains our men to be emotionally detached. Let's be for real. Where you ball for? You a man. Toughen it up. Where you ball for? You a girl? Things that men hear. Man of the ball. Where you ball for? And it's like it kind of invalidates them. It invalidates their feelings. It invalidates their experiences, how they react to things. And if they have been experiencing this from childhood, then obviously they're going to become emotionally detached and take on this wounded masculine energy of just nonchalance, right? Um, there is a Jamaican proverb that said, tie the heifer and loose the bull, right? Let me tell you what it is. Let me just look for it. I had it written down. Tie the heifer, loose the bull, which basically means keep the girls and at home, but make the men run loose. That is something that has been prominent within our Jamaican society of how we treat women versus how we treat men. Whenever the man or the child wants to go with his friends, make him go on, man, make him go on, yeah, go on, go have fun. Yeah, boy, if you come out of the house, if it this, if it that, and many times we say, oh, say you not have woman, a child. We're telling that. You know, have woman, yeah, gyalis. Yeah, man, gyalis, hey, hey. And we hype it up. We're literally creating cheaters. We're creating men who are emotionally detached, right? So once we start creating these men, then obviously we're going to have a society filled with cheaters. We're going to have a society filled with men who aren't owning their roles because we are not imploring them to be providers, to be secure, to be emotionally stable. And I realized we kind of put the responsibility of the family on the woman. So when we grow our girls, it's always about take care of the family, take care of the home, ensure everybody's okay, ensure everybody have this, have that. You know? Like what about the son you have? It takes two to create a good environment, a collective effort, right? It doesn't take one to do everything. That is going to put a strain on that person, and then things won't be done properly. But let me know what you think. Put something in the chat. Let me know what you think about it, because that's just my opinion. What is your opinion on this? God, sorry. And I feel like even though society is constructed a certain way, I believe we as individuals could come together and create a change. Society doesn't change on its own. We're the ones who create society. We are society. We are society. Humans create society. We're a part of it. So, in order to have a change within our nation, we have to play our individual role. We have to play our individual role. What can we do as individuals and as the collective to create a change within our nation? Right? We don't encourage women to grow our men a certain way. Let us remove the toxicity. Let us remove the toxic mindset of, oh, my son for be gallus, my son for be bad man. Let's remove that. Let us create a society where boys can be emotionally available. Let us create a space for them to express themselves without shame, without neglect. And we should do the same for a woman. And I believe if we play our individual role, even crime and violence will change. I don't know if you guys watch news, but many times on news, the whenever someone die, right? The son, nephew, right? A gunman die due to them having a shootout with the police or whatever. You know what the mother always say? A good youth. Him never do nothing wrong. Them wicked, etc., etc., etc. The whole community about being innocence. How can he be innocent when he was a gunman? How could he be a good youth when he was molesting, raping, killing, stealing, right? So I believe we need to come together and be real. Let us be real and hold people accountable for their words and their action. Don't encourage the whole toxic mindset of, oh, we need to grow warriors. Let us grow emotionally available men. That's what we need to do. Men who can provide, men who can keep the home safe, and secure without the need of holding a weapon. If you have any thoughts, just leave it in the chat. Oh, I'm getting hot. Let me just give my cats food. Let me know what you guys think. And I believe by holding space for emotional intelligence, we'll be able to cut the rates of men who are violent towards our women. Men who are killing women because oh she cheat on me or she talked to me a certain way, you know? And you know what's ironic? No, this is my ego. This is my ego talking. You know what's ironic? They will always say, "Oh, she cheat on me, so me have to kill her, cause woman wicked." But women, for years, have been dealing with cheating men within our society, and we deal with it, and we move on. You know, but they try to justify their actions by, "Oh, she hurt me, so me have to hurt her back." And you actually see my connection is unstable. My connection is unstable. Hope it's back up. I wonder if you guys can hear me. But yeah, um, what was I saying? It starts. We can see it in schools as well, where a lot of boys, whenever they get in fights, it's like, oh, because him hurt me, me have to hurt him back, or because him tell me if it's my mother, me have to stab him up. Hold on, I have to mute my mic. Oh, sorry about that. When we reach home, let me wipe off the camera. But yes, it starts from the home because if children are going to school and threatening each other, there's a lot that's happening at home. But now that brings up the question, what can we do? What can we do about that? Right? Because again, we have to play. It's a part of our pledge, guys. We have to play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. So, what can we do to create change? You know, instead of ignoring, you see a neighbor do certain things and you ignore. Why not make a suggestion here and there? I know some people will not take certain conversations, right? But I believe if we have that community effect locked, then talking to your neighbor shouldn't be hard because you would have already had that friendship going, that trust going. And you can talk to them and be like, say, me not really agree with this or how you did handle this and handle that, or I would have handled it a certain way, or I believe if you had said something like this, then it would have created a different reaction, you know. Having that community support for our families is very important because a lot of women are experiencing stress at home. If they had the grandma, the aunt, the neighbor there to help them, then the stress would have been reduced. The emotional abuse on the child would have been reduced, right? A lot of times I've seen this actually um where someone is beating their child and someone gets in the middle of it and begging the mother, begging the mother, please don't do this to the child. Just listen to the child. Maybe the child didn't mean it that way. And many times the mother will be like, you look, it say it's because of this person. Why me not beat you? So I feel like if more people were involved, then a lot of issues would have been reduced within our society. It all starts at home. Anyways, let's take a break. I am tired. Let me show you guys my cat. Come here, Chunky. Here is my fat cat. Hey, Blanco. His name is Blanco. Say hi, Blanco. Why are you giving me side eye? Whoa! I'm tired. No. I'm the only one talking. Hello. Hello. Finesse. AMVs. Wagwan. I was just talking about like society, how we can improve, um, and how, yeah, cats. He's the fattest cat I have. And how we can improve collectively by playing our individual role, being our brother's keeper, and all of that. So, yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. And I also believe by raising a lot of emotionally intelligent people, we'll have a lot of emotionally intelligent people representing us in the government, in politics. We won't have these um we won't have these ignorant or arrogant leaders representing us. All right, have a nice night. Thank you for stopping by. And thank you for, subscribing and still being here. All right. So that's all I have to yap about. Yap, 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 yap. There is so much more I can talk about. But I'm not getting any questions, any suggestions, nothing like what's going on. Everybody quiet. I think I'm going to stop at 50 minutes. Well, I can't stop anytime I want to stop. Let's be for real. But I want to play music or something. Mommy gave me cashew, salted cashew, and walnut. Is walnut this or almond? Hmm. Anyways, that was a lot to talk about. I think I'm going to create a video on I think I said this earlier in the live. I'm going to create a video on my experience as a Miss Manchester Festival Queen contestant and how has the journey changed me. And I'm probably going to create a video on things that can be improved within our nation, within our society. Um, the competition has helped me to recognize a lot of issues that we're currently facing as Jamaicans and how we tend to turn a blind eye to all of it, which is understandable to be honest, because with all the terrible things that's happening, it can be very disheartening for us. So, hmm you guys can look out for videos moving forward. And I also want to interview people and get their perspective. So, yeah. Um, thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for listening to me chat about everything and anything. um, yeah, I'm going to call it a day. I'm getting tired now. But thank you so much. I wonder if I could take a thumbnail. How do you take a thumbnail? Mm-mm-mm. Bye.